What's up, YouTube? This is Sea-Dog, and I'm back to bring you another Transformers TakaraTomy adventure review. And this is TAV-39 QUILLFIRE. This is him in his packaging. Looking at the art there. Decepticon symbol, unlike the American versions where they just have Autobot symbols on every single one of the packaging, at least. Decepticon symbol down here. We got the Japanese writing for his name. Shows him in package. Car mode. More art on the side. The same art, but once again. Shows the transformation. That special Japanese kind of art style that they put on the top there. And some shots from the anime. And the picture and the app and the part of the game part. And without further ado, let's get started. So this is QUILLFIRE out of the packaging, and he is awesome. I love the paint apps that Takara is putting on all these awesome figures. Now these figures from America aren't that great. I mean, they're fun. I like them. I buy them. You know, I haven't, but I haven't been buying them recently since I've been getting the adventure line. But you know, Takara goes the extra mile, and I love it. I love the red eyes, the gold eyebrows. I love, you know, I mean, every one of these figures has this, but I love the fact that his mouth opens. I think that's cool. He's got head movement up and down, so it's kind of neat. He's got his quills back here. So yeah, looking at the paint apps, we got yellow on the belt. We got this gloss kind of, it's not translucent, but it's almost like a cellophane, or not a cellophane, but it's like a different type of plastic. You can see how it shines like that. It's probably a type of paint. And eventually I'm going to take all these stickers off and put my, I've got decals that, you know, that you put on, and then they pull off the sticker and they just stay on. They're not stickers either. But I like the headlights here and the bumpers. And the details on the tires looks good. On all the tires. Get that yellow line. Got some border paint around the hub wheels, or the wheel hubs, I guess. You got border paint here. Got some paint on the windshields. Looking at the back, you can see some of the windshield. It's still that same glossy plastic. You can see it shining in the... Yeah, let's get some more light down over here. The official transformation is actually supposed to be like this, but I find it gets in the way of things, and I don't know, I just think that's ugly. So what I do is I flip it around like this, so it gives him easy access to his, or maybe it doesn't give him easy access to his waist swivel. No, like that does. It doesn't give him easy access to his waist swivel, but it gives him better access to his legs, I find. But either way you want to do it. This is the official, but I find it looks better. It just feels better in my hand this way. Well, not with... That's if you want the waist swivel. If you put it down, the waist swivel doesn't work as well. But let's just use the official for now. Alright, so... for articulation, he's got... The head will go up and down. Pretty much go up that far and down that far. There's no swivel or anything because... Oh, yeah, there is a little swivel. I forgot. They did build the swivel in. So that's pretty cool. You can get it to swivel about 20 degrees, maybe 15, 20 degrees. So not bad. And like I showed you before, his mouth will open about that far, and it will go in the middle too. You can choose your thing. And you can also lock this tab. You can tab this behind it. Or at least that's how it was when I got it. You can tab this behind there, and it will lock his head in place, and it will be like on this down position. But I prefer to choose it like that. He's got a waist swivel. He's got shoulder ball joints up in there, so he can go out to the side. Let's get that head down. He's got out to the side. He can use that swivel to go up, but it'll only go up about that far. But he's also got this swivel, so you can get up all the way. So that's cool. They built in two swivels. Or you can just use this swivel and go up like that and use it kind of like a double joint. He's got an elbow joint. And keep in mind that he's also on this. It's part of the transformation, but it definitely works as an arm joint. Alright, getting his arms out of the way. I showed you the waist swivel. It'll go full range. He's got a little bit of swivel on just that ball joint itself. Plus he's got the thigh swivel. Plus he can kick his legs way up and back and out to the side. Full thigh swivel, and he's got a knee joint. Plus he's got ankle rocker. Yeah, not tilts, just rocker. So that's pretty much the articulation in a nutshell. Oh, he's also got wrist hinges from the transformation. You can kind of do that kind of thing like the animated line was. And he's got upper bicep swivel. And I believe that covers everything. The only other bit of articulation would be back here. This, I think it's just for packaging. This comes down like this, and you can pop it in. It clips in there, and then this part is one of his quills. You remember how in the cartoon he pulls out his quills, or he throws them, or I can't remember exactly. But he can hold one of his quills as well, so that's really cool. Looking at his weapon, this is his weapon. Stand there, buddy. Some kind of porcupine type gun or something. It's got a number 2 on it, and it's got that symbol for the new Decepticons, the animal Decepticons. So yeah, so putting this back up there, and let's get a little comparison with the rest of his Con brothers. Let's get them all posed there nicely. All right. So here's Fracture. It's him next to Fracture, and we'll put him in the middle of Fracture and Megatronus. So that's him with them, and here's the Bruiser Thunderhoof. I'll put him next to him now. So that's the team right now, as they are right now. Looking very awesome. I'm glad to have the adventure line, and I'm really glad that, you know, I'm getting these for less than they cost in the store. I think I paid $14 or $16 for these each. So yeah, very cheap. And I'm really liking the Decepticons. Thank you, Hazra and Takara. Oh, another paint app would be that same symbol is up on his top of his roof there. Alright, so removing Fracture, Thunderhoof, and Megatronus out of the way. Keep in mind I also have this guy coming. That's my last Adventure Decepticon that I currently own at this moment. But let's get into the transformation. So we want to remove this, and what you can do is you can peg this. If he has weapon storage of all of his weapons, so you peg this back in, and however you want, but I usually do it like that. Alright, so, and then we want to flip in his wrist hinges just like every other toy nowadays. Whoops, what the heck? Just on a friction hinge. So, I guess they don't even put them on pins anymore. So we want to flip in his arms like that. Then we lift up this part and flip up his head. And create some more paint apps there. Close that down. Alright, next you want to lift up like that. It comes up on this double hinge. And you want to lift up on this. Alright. So then what we want to do is you want to tilt back this. It will go back into the just like that. You want to tilt it backwards into that section. So the quill is down in that section right there. Then you take these and you hinge them up and peg them together. There's a little tab right there and a tab slot right, you can see it in the light right there. And you tab those together like this, pulling up the arms. You also want to use, there's a T-joint, and kind of slide it from the top over into it, kind of like this. You might want to do this first, I don't know. Just like that. Don't really matter. And just like that on this side. Come on. There. Alright. So then we get them all pegged in. So then what you want to do is you want to extend this out. And you want to just pull these out a little bit. And you want to clip this over the top. And lay it down like that. Then you snap everything in. And then there's some clips. And they clip around these part like that. So they go in between, you know, they go in between that little section right there. So you clip everything on. Just like that. Then you want to do a waist swivel. Actually, before you, there. You want to do the waist, you might want to do the waist swivel first. You can do it without, it just depends on how it's section, or it's how it's positioned. But you want to make sure that the waist is swiveled 180 degrees. So then we flip the feet all the way down as much as they can go, which they'll go about that far. And then you just, and then you just use this on a hinge, and you see that little tab, that little slide-in tab part, and this tab right here. Do the same thing. You tab it in, just like that. What you do is you put his knee upward, you kind of just bend his knee, almost like he's bending his knee, basically, and then you just slot it in that tab. Here, I'll show you. Like that, and then you slot this tab. It's a sliding from up underneath. Just remember that when you're taking it apart. Make sure everything's tabbed in like that, and then these two tabs right there will slot into these two holes right there. Just like so. And you just make sure everything's pegged together. Whoops. That part didn't get in there. There we go. And you know, just kind of squish them all into place, and we have him in vehicle mode, in his APC SUV type mode. And the gun, there's two peg holes right there, you just slide it in underneath here. And like I showed you, the quill stores in there as well. And he rolls. There we go. Rolls pretty good. Now looking at the paint apps while it's in truck mode, looks even better. He's got a nice grill. You can see the lights, how they're outlined. They're painted in yellow, and they're paint applications all around them. There's got the bumper, although there's two different color brown paints here. We got one color brown paint on this side and another color brown paint on this side. So that's a little weird and cheap, but I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, because it's like brown on this side, and then that other type of brown on this side, and then brown on this side, and that other type of brown on this side. Probably what they're supposed to do is do brown on the back, and then light on the front, or something like that. And they probably messed up, but it maybe not, and I'm not really too worried about it anyway. Just give me 1 second here while I refix his. I like my transformers to be transformed correctly, so I want them to be all tabbed in perfectly. And in order to do that, we got to get these down. Then we can peg these in and clip everything together. Not really sure why I'm doing that again, but for whatever reason I am. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much it. And then just to transform back is really simple. You just pop this up open like that. And you pull his legs down. And you just loosen these parts up right here. Flip it out like this. Flip this down like that. Flip the waist around. Pull his section down like this. Pull his arms out of the tabbing spots. Flipping out his fists, of course. Out of the tabbing spots. Oops. Flipping out his fists, of course. Opening up this and flipping down his head. And pretty much you got a figure. Pulling at his feet and positioning this in the background. So let me know what you think of the figure, guys, and my reviews. Please leave a like and subscribe. And if you got something to say, leave it in the comment sections below. And catch you on the flip.